What you doing?
I'm going to model a brake lever today.
Okay. You know you weren't going to use it.
Hello everybody, this is Blender Pretender, and today I get to play with Blender 2.79. I'm going to work on a bicycle model that a subscriber to my channel has asked where the next video was. And that is, let me show really quick there. So I posted a bunch of videos, basically, yeah, pretty much they start from here, modeling this bicycle. And so they pretty much have all, except for that one, they have all the parts for the bicycle that is seen here. So this is the final render for the bicycle. And one of the subscribers asks, oh, where's the rest of the videos? Or are you going to post any more videos? Not really. I wasn't planning on posting videos. I had said at one point in time. Here it is. Let me just open it really quick. So the bicycle, I believe it's that one. Yeah, so this is my noodle setup for the compositing. But for the final, image. Let me save it as file. I'm missing something up here. I guess it's the information, but I'm missing. I believe I'm missing something. I don't know. File, save as. I'm gonna put it today's date. I already give myself an extra year. I'm in the future. I'm recording in the future. Save. Okay, because this is a very heavy file. So anyways, while it runs, I just push the Shift-Z to render it. It takes a while. Oh, and it's all unsubdivided, this bicycle. But yeah, I just wanted to go over it. At one point in time, I didn't have a chance to do any recordings. And some time went in between when I did the last video I did, which is modeling the brake hub. I suppose that would be a good name for it, but it's a brake. It's this 9-shaped hub that's down here, and I left it at that the last video. But it pretty much had all the parts, and I'm going to go over really quickly what I have done since then. Obviously it has a background. I'm going to take that off, although it can't be really appreciated. Let me just go in this view, and let me hide. I have to get reacquainted where the layers are, but I'll hide the back plane. The camera should be in the 10th layer, so maybe I have all my layers. No, move to the 10th layer. Oh, and this, since I have Blender 2.79, I can do that for whatever it offers. And so it's been rigged. I rigged it, you can see right there, and it's in the pose mode. So I'll go Alt G, R, and scale. Oh, I didn't select any. Select them all, Alt G, R, scale. So I can put them back to where it is. The bicycle is without, because once I tab in, let me just Control Z that. Once I tab into any object, and the bicycle itself, it's an entirely all joined. It's going to go into its manipulated pose. So to minimize the confusion, again, I'll select everything on that and then go Alt G R scale. Let me Control save that. But so back to what the brief but long description. So just skip ahead if anybody's watching. Thinking, where's the modeling? That's the hub right there. Well, it's all joined. So I left it off in the video. I had different parts, different objects for the different parts, but I joined them all together. So long as I don't have this auto merge and do a move function or anything like that, I think it'll be fine, because if I were to turn that on in edit mode and move it, there'll be a lot of little vertices all around that will get merged because it's very dense. But it's just copied over, mirrored. It looks like it's, no, not really, it's just rotated. Copied over, rotated, and then some manipulation done for the vertices to make that look like it's grabbing to that fork. So that's all I did. And rigged it. It's a very simple rig, and today I'm going to work on the brake, and to call that to get to a point of completion. A brake which I plan to mirror, and hopefully then also finish the cable that comes all the way back down. Okay, so let me get started with that. Let me save it again. Okay, I need to look for a reference, so let me go back. What I just did, I paused the video to get the number of the image that I'm going to use. I'm going to bring back the tools there. Give myself a little window here. Shift F10 gets me, that's the tire tread. It's just a drawing that I should just go over that. As part of what I did. So what that is a tiny drawing, and what I'm seeing here, or what we're seeing here, is this little button over here on the left. You hit the N, you get the little button on the left here. That gets rid of it. Hit home to get back to the image. So it's a tiny image, and basically it just repeats. And that's how I created it here in Blender, and that's how you make sure that this matches with this, because that's for anybody that will want to do this in this program. Blender's not ideal for doing stuff like this, but you can do it. If you're in the painting option, and there's the tiling up here. So you put the tiles and you make sure that when you run out up on one end, it'll come up on the other. It's barely noticeable here that it's not quite coming together. If I zoom in, there's not quite coming together. But anyways, that's how I did. So this is a tire tread used as a bump. Let me get that. It's a good thing it was already there. It gives me an opportunity to explain. Because it does have the tread there, and it's not modeled. It doesn't look like it's modeled anyway, so you can tell it's a bump because it doesn't have the edge right around here. Then the flares with the compositing. Okay, but anyways, we're modeling today, not doing this stuff. And what I need is in the view mode, I need to open, I have to, I get lost now. I look for stuff up here now because of Blender 2.8. I have to open, and I'm in the correct directory, but I want to go to the reference images, hit that one, and I think it's this one, right? Yes, I wrote the number down, so it's that one. And I'm going to zoom in here and use that as a reference right along with, like that, right along with the reference images that I already have, which are, these reference images are no longer any good because I raced the bicycle up to its, 0, 0, to where the tires are on top of the grid. But that's okay. If I absolutely needed to, I'll just hide it and Alt-H. And then look at these background images. There's not much to be appreciated here other than it looks like it's a, well, it's got some curves in there that might not be that easy, but for the sake of simplicity, I don't see it. What am I seeing here that's different? It's got two cables, it looks like, coming out of the right side. Yes, it does. It has something else on the right side. I don't have another photo that shows the stuff that's going on the right side. So I'm going to stick to just doing a simple one that's like the left side and then mirroring it over. So this is no longer any good. Alt-H. Go back to the one. the front view. I'm going to move that plane in the back, move it to the 0 layer. So that's the plane that I put in the back so it looks white. And it has a little backdrop there so not much to be appreciated from this side as well. Okay, so most of it is going to come from this reference image and make it up as I go along. As it is, the grips on this bicycle are not like the ones that are seen here. They've got other stuff, other details that I just didn't bother to put in there. So let me tab into Alt-H. So I'm inside the mesh now. I go to the faces and go Alt. So I grab that little circle. And Z so I can make sure I got everything. I'm going to duplicate it. PS. So I selected that little bit right there. Now I can go Shift H. Actually, I don't want it alone. I want the handlebar as well. So Alt H again. Tab into this one again. Do a circle select here. And just go Control plus. I'll get half the handlebar. Well, I'll get the whole handlebar. Oh, just Control Link. It already has material, so there's no seam, so that worked. Okay, so duplicate that one. P selection. Tab. So I should have the handlebar and the little tube, part of the tube that I got there. Shift H to hide them. Hide the rest of the stuff and isolate these. Okay, now okay, I'm gonna move these then, just for the sake of move Alt 1. So I just put them on this tiny layer down here. Okay, and I'm going to keep every other layer off, and the reason for that is that I'm hoping that, okay, I need something else then. So I'm going to be toggling back and forth between the subdivided view and the unsubdivided view. I did that by hitting Control 3 versus Control 1, right, or Control 0 for nothing. And then here you can see the facets. But I need to be able to go back and forth and be able to see how smooth they are. And I moved them to this layer because I already have the other layer. Takes forever now to render. If I go back to the 1, unhide it, I'm going to take that bicycle, I'm going to go Control 3, which is the levels of subdivisions. It's already taken its time to subdivide it. The level of subdivisions that it has in the render. And if I go, I just push Shift Z, and it'll take some time. Oh, I actually got a non-responding. It's outside of the capture, screen capture, but yes, it's taking time to build all the boxes and everything. So it's just, in the divided, when it's subdivided, it just takes a lot of resources. I'm just showing that because excuse me. I think I need a drink. It's Friday, so I have the opportunity to take a drink. Anyway, the subscriber that was asking for this video was asking about, how to get things smooth. My response is work with the subdivided view, and therefore you know how it's going to result. So I'm going to go back to Control 0 for that one. Is it still selected? Yes, it is. So it's doing its work right now, going back to the unsubdivided view. And a lot of things, they come through, they clip and all that. And it doesn't have to be in that view. It can be in this view right here. So that's more manageable like that. but I want to just be able to see. I just changed layers. See only the handlebar. So anyways, there's that. I need to give it, so it already has a couple things. I wonder, I'm going to put a solidify on it. I'm going to put it up before everything. And okay. Put Alt Home so I can center and actually rotate around that. It's not even that thick. That I'm talking about the clamp portion of it, the clamps around the bicycle. Yeah, it's not even that thick, but what's the best way to get this? That tube is no longer has an axis. It's on the curve. So I'll tab in again. Yeah, I kind of don't want... Well, it's going to be closer to this side, so I'm going to go into the edges and choose that edge. Create a face there. And then using Control, Alt, and Spacebar, I just created a... Where is my little thing? There. So, and then there's off the period. I just hit the period to get... Oh, that's a good thing I have these key things. I don't have to be talking about it. But... then X face. What I did is I just created an axis onto which, from which I'm going to work. It's a big assumption because it may not actually be in that axis. I can see there's something in there, and I think that's from the handlebar. The grip, I just tucked it in. It's not a separate object. So that's good. I can just work with this one. So that's the axis there. Now I'm going to scale in the ZZ. So scale ZZ 0. I went to the cursor, which is fine because I'm trying to reduce it. It seemed to work. I wasn't expecting it to work that well because, because I have no guarantees that this plane is perpendicular to the direction that these vertices are, but it works fine, so I'm going to leave it at that. It's all make-believe anyways. So I'm going to apply the modifier. I need to tab out and apply that modifier. Okay. Now go back into the Control 3 and the Z. Okay, so now it's a ring. I'm going to select everything on that ring. Now I'm in the subdivided view, right, for this one. Not the handlebar. So I should probably look how it looks in the handlebar as well. Control 3. Make it bigger so we can see. Yeah, there's a gap right there, so that's fine. It works. I can always stretch that bigger. So take that one tab, select everything, right? And then scale it. Scale in the ZZ. I'm going to go Control, comma, just to go off the center. Scale ZZ. Right there. Right? Choose, and then going into the edges, I'll choose the edges, and then Control Bevel. Little bit more. I should have chosen this one as well. Control Z. And the one inside there is not necessary, but I'm going to do it anyways because it won't be seen. Control B for bevel. Okay, so it's looking more like this done, right? No, not quite. Okay. Hoping that there's not clipping or stuff that gets crazy with this, I'm going to rotate it ZZ. Rotate it about that much. Yeah, that's fine. I can always rotate it more. I just don't want to get into a point where I have too many things coming out and then worry about all the stuff I need to select in order to rotate it or not. Okay, so yeah, that bevel may have been premature in the sense that now I'm going to start extruding this face. I'm going to go Control X because now there's a face there. And then Control 0. There's a face there that's missing that bevel, right? Let's see how it behaves first, and then I'll deal with it. So what happens when I extrude it? It somewhat wants to behave. It's going in the direction of the face, the bigger face, not the other face, so that's fine. Control 3. Oh, now I'm going to choose. So I have an axis that was on the tube. Oh, it's actually here in the end panel. I'm going to call that one break tube axis. 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 I don't know how to spell multiple axes. Okay, that's one. Now with the face selected, I'm going to do another one. That's what you do. That's what you push. All of that gone with Blender 2.8. Yippee! Scale Z0. Oh, what am I doing? Scale Z0. Wrong Z. Scale ZZ0. Okay. Control 3. Just to see how it's gonna start to look. Okay. I'm gonna choose that edge with the wireframe. Okay, so now this is getting in the way, so I'm gonna hide it. I'll unhide that, and when I hit unhide everything, you know, it's just gonna show me the handlebars and not the whole bicycle. So I'm gonna use those outside loops there to get the center there. Go back to well, I'll keep it it's just a face. I'm not sure that that's going to be something that I want to keep necessarily. I have a bunch of them already from the creation of the rest of the bicycle, but so I have the tube, and what I'm going to use is the axis there. What's the easier way? I can always just scale them. I can always use the Z or something like that, but I'm trying to be more unnecessarily. I'm trying to be a little bit more precise. So, okay. I shouldn't have done Control Z. That's good about the undo. It gets you to the last selection. Shift snap. I gotta check which one this is here. Selection to cursor to selected. Okay. So now with the period selected, push down. There, I'm gonna rotate that one. Rotate ZZ. Yeah, it's warping the top there too much. Okay. I need to bring these all down a little further and then put another loop somewhere in between, which is going to warp it anyways. I'm going to take the whole loop there. Rotate ZZ. It's warping the whole thing, I know. But I'm eyeballing it right there. Boop. And here it tells me I went, so I'm going to go minus round number 15 degrees. And then choose that one and that one. Rotate ZZ. And then I hit the F6 there and I get the 15 degrees up. So that's more uniform. The only problem now is that I have cut two loops here. Oop. And then another one here. Okay? So those two loops are going to ruin everything. Right? So I'm going to choose that one. Go into the vertex mode. Make that, well, actually duplicate it first. Make that the active one, right? And then maybe I should make the interior one, the active one right there, that one. And then rotate ZZ. I just shift, I just, I don't know what I just said. I just hit Shift Tab to get my snaps going back again. So now I have, so there's one, right? And then duplicate, rotate to this one. They're close enough. I hope they're close enough. There's a little difference between one of these because when you cut the loop, it cuts the midsection between them. Unless I go into the options or whatever. But they should be close enough. This is why I've said in the videos before, it's like now I become a vertex wrangler, right? Because I want the auto merge on, and I'm just wrangling the vertices. That I'm using the auto merge so I can get rid of the ones that are being left behind. I'm gonna go Control 0 because I'm starting to get confused. But that one to that one. And these. So by doing that merge, now I don't have to deal with that loop. I put another loop and I'll see right now, see how it looks, because this loop here is going to ruin this one over here. In which case, you know, sometimes the work that it takes to do this is the same as to just go back and give it more subdivisions or something. It's okay. Blender is fun. So just tell yourself that when you when you're doing the tedious stuff like this. Blender is fun. Has to be. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. Boom. You know, and that's what's awesome about the people that write scripts and they make them for free. Like scripts that can do other stuff. Not this very, very specific thing, but other stuff. So I'm going back to that view and the third. And yes, it doesn't look right. Let me unhide, Tab, Alt, H. See how it's going to look. Because after all, I am making it up. Right? And because I'm making it up, I can always just grab them and move them to where it's going to look more or less, right? And after all, this is not perfectly circular either. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because I'll be moving them anyways. I went 15 degrees this way. I wonder if I can just split the difference and move some of these over a little bit closer together. And let's try it. Boom. Yeah, I would have no idea. I'd be just totally guessing, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to guess. Rotate ZZ without the snaps. About that much. F6. It's 15 degrees. I'll go 10. Okay. Oh, that looks better already. Rotate ZZ that much F6, and then -10. Okay. And that looks better already for me. What doesn't look good is, it's a good thing I didn't move that cursor. Because what doesn't look good is, let me tab out, hide that one. Well, I need it. So go into the Z. It's going to get a little busy here. But there. It's going to get a little busy. But if I go to the faces, did I create a face there? I think I created a face. Don't know how I did that. It would have come up here in the video. I'll have to go look at what point in time I hit F to create a face. Because I hit F for faces. Tab F. That's why. I think I should just be able to hit Alt. No, Control Z. And then it's Control Alt. Nope, Control Z. Neither. There you go. I've got them. Okay. Z. Scale. Shift ZZ. I'm just choking them down. Oh, I need the bevel as well. Otherwise it gets... So Control plus. Did I? Oh, I was off. My cursor was off. Control plus. Let me save while I'm at it. Tab, Control save. Tab back in. Okay. Scale, Shift, ZZ. Scale, Shift, ZZ. Some more. It's gonna clip in some spots, so that's okay. Because the render's not gonna catch that. And I'm going into the edges. I'm gonna check that loop. And maybe through this. Is that loop? And they're off. They're not even close to being circular. I don't know why that loop in the back is not behaving. Huh. They should be similar. At least by what I've been doing, I would think they have to be similar. So, Scale, Shift, ZZ. I'm not going to worry about it because it's in the back where we don't see it. Okay. They're looking a little bit better. As in... Okay, so here's what I can do now. It's not that color because I already took a lot of time to add materials, right? Shift F3. What am I seeing here? Home. Oh, I'm in the compositor. Let me clean this up. Home. And it needs, I'm gonna give it so I have that one. I'm just gonna look through it for it in here. It's going to be yeah, a lot of all the materials, most of them, with the exception of that. Well, maybe I should go over it without saying it. But they're all principled ones, and then I just messed with the values until I got something that looks like what I want. So the bicycle itself has a bunch of materials already, and I can see by the preview here. But let me go with that one right now, for now. Let me see. Oh, didn't assign it. And so there, tab in. Select them all and assign it. Tab out, Shift Z. Close enough. Shift Z out of that. I want a reference for my, but you know what I can do? I can turn it off. So I'm guessing that that's probably here and here, that material. Maybe even here. I don't know. There's very little subtle differences between, but I'm going to guess it's like that one and that one. So I'm going to keep it, be consistent and keep it with that one. I can always check, of course. So I'm going to do that. Go back to 1. I'm going to choose that tab. And here, it's either that one. So there's a black shiny paint. Well, I'll just hit select. So it's black paint. That's the one. Deselected. Tab out. What did I do? I hit the 1. No, I'm already in the 1. Alt 1. Home. And that one. No, I gave it the. So I'm going to give it that one then. I think maybe I already did give that one. I don't know. This looks shinier maybe. Okay. Doesn't look like paint from this light. This side, does it? That can be fixed. You know what I need? I'm going to move that one to the second layer. This is all the junk that I used for making the bicycle. So back to the Alt 1 and go Shift Alt 2. When I do the render view, then I can do that. And it's being mostly lit up by an HDRI. In case anybody's wondering, that's what's lighting this up. But then that background gives me a contrast to look at this. Okay, Shift Z, take that one. Shift F10, so we can look at that again and save just in case. I was going to pause to take a drink, but I don't want to because it takes a lot of editing. Hopefully that's not too loud. Okay. So I still have that one. I still have a transform orientation. Where are they? Where are they? Here. Brake tube axis. No, I don't want that one. It's the face one. The face 2. So I'm going to scale that one. X. Make it wider. Because it starts getting wider. And also I'm going to cut a loop right here. Now here I need to go into the unsubdivided view to make sure that I'm not getting crazy close to this one. And I'm not. Okay, I can fix this. I can fix this. Because I'm gonna keep this, try to keep this bevel going all the way through. So scale, not that one, this one here. Period, so I can rotate around it. Okay, Alt 1, just so I don't have that plane in the way. Scale YY. Just eyeballing it. Because it does get narrow, wide, and that's where the pin is, where the brake comes around. So that's wide enough, I think. And I can always play with these a little bit more so that it flattens out. So I really should just do another extrusion. Too far back for each of these. So I'm going to put the cursor right there. Rather, I'm going to select that and then shift snap U. So it's there. Now I'm gonna hit Alt A. No, it's A to deselect. See, I'm already so accustomed to 2.8 when I work here at home. Scale ZZ. I'm just bringing it back. Okay, a little closer to reality. Take that face again and extrude it again. I really should have made an effort to have this to be flat in this axis. This is the frontal ortho view, and I should have probably made an effort to have at least the vertical elements of that face to be along the z-axis. That's okay. Just have to deal with it. And then we can do some vertex wrangling. So I'm doing the mirror of this because the lever is going to go out that way. Mirror of this, I mean, the lever here is going to go that way, and the cable is going to come this way. I can already guess that I'm just going to extrude these this way. And this is all guesswork on my part, but I'm going to take these and join them. That and join it too. Now I'm going to take the faces here. The bevel though is I'm gonna have to figure out a way to lose that bevel there. Control 0. I mean this bevel right here. I'm going to choose them anyway. And for now, it's not even anywhere close, but I'm going to extrude them just in this general. Control Z. I didn't get that one. There. Yeah. As soon as I chose that face, it went crooked, right? Control Z. Okay. I'm gonna go extrude and then grab in the XX. Something like that. That's a brake assembly, isn't it? It's futuristic. Let's just call it futuristic. I drag that out a little bit so that the bevel still works. I'm going to Control 3, which it kind of does that, right? It does like a curve. And I choose it all the way over here, grab that, move it over. So it gets closer over there. Still kind of round. I kind of like it that you have a bevel that comes like this, and then it goes into this rounded shape right here, which is, I think, is going to work fine for the purposes of what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not going to be exact, but I like it here for my brake assembly. Because my brake assembly is going to pivot from here and come out this way. So I still need to move some of these back over this way. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder how much I should strive to get what is seen here versus I can just make it up. It's the easiest part, isn't it, to make stuff up? I see an... I'm not sure if I was going to say that I see some videos where sculpting gets done. I don't need the reference so much right now. Grab, shift, Y. I see a lot of sculpting being done, and it looks, it's really good and all that. But, it's not a but. It's creative. It's the whole, process and everything. But it's always monsters. Not always. Not always. There's a bunch of other videos where they reproduce actual human figures very, very closely to what they are. And but in my mind, it takes a lot more to reproduce something to look like what it, what it's supposed to be versus just making it up. I'm already tucking it in. I can see right there that I'm tucking it in underneath there, underneath the other surface. Oh, it went straight. Oh, what did I do? Control Z. I thought I was working off of, I thought I was working off of this cursor. Grab, shift, YY. Huh, it's not respecting it. Let's see here. Grab, shift, YY. Okay, respected it right there. It wasn't in the other, maybe I'm just not doing it right. Take that to that. Now control 3 so I can see it. And just grab it, move it over. No wonder it was not behaving. Save again. Save. Now I gotta think in the mirror, which I don't I don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the proportional editing for this one because it's a more of a smooth, curve thing. So it's taking everything, but I'm scrolling down, down, down. A little bit more. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. So this is smooth, kind of like what it looks like here. But when it comes together over here, not quite so much. And what's the best way to deal with that? Well, first let me get this. I'm going to hit the O to get rid of that again. Using this, I'm going to move it in. Okay. Further here. It's getting closer, but it's not quite as round as it should be over here. I think that's looking closer, somewhat of a mirror of that. Maybe it's not as far out this way. I can always fix that. I'm using the circle select to grab some of that and then just move it up. And hit the O on that one, but not as much. Okay. It's looking kind of big. I wonder if if I've grown a monster there. Yeah, it does look kind of big. Okay. That's because this was big to begin with. If that grip is meant to be the thickness of that grip right there, then this is way too big. The circle, I mean. The clamp portion of it. And I lost it. Lost the center. Huh. Okay, here's what I can do. I lost that center, but I can always go back to this center. That center right there. Shift, snap, U, it is. Okay, that's the tube. Control 0. Yeah, that's the tube. I wonder if I can save those cursor coordinates. I've done this every once in a while, in case I ever need to go back here. Since I'm going to be working off of this, well, I'll have to hit this, go to the text editor, and here, Control Copy, Control V. What is it? Oh, I had a new one. Control V, Control Copy, Enter. I'm going to give myself 2 spaces. Control V, Control Copy, Control V. Is that correct? That can't be correct. Of course it's not. The cursor's not even there. Shift Snap U. Okay. Yeah, that one's wrong. For some reason I must have dragged down there. Control Copy. Control V. Okay. So that's the text editor. I was going to save that there for a little bit while I work on the other stuff. So UV image editor. All right. And that's not exact, by the way, because there's rounding. There's rounding because of the way that Blender works, I suppose, and there's rounding beyond the 4th digit. The 4th digit is questionable. right of the period. Learned that the hard way. Okay. I'll just go to the Z. Grab that, to that, to that. Scale, Shift, XX. Gonna make that little circle smaller, bigger. Okay. I really should have started on the other side. Should I mirror it? Maybe I should mirror it and work on this side so it looks more like it. Shift 1. I just turn on the first layer just so I can compare. They're big, but they're not that big. So obviously I need to do a lot more shrinking over here. Alt 1. Tab. I just realized I used the wrong axis. It's not that noticeable, so I'm going to just leave it. But I had the wrong transform orientation on. I should have chosen the tube one to do that scaling. That's fine. Dirty modeling. Choose those. Choose these. And then this will be, since I still have the face one, scale YY. Make the proportional one a little bit bigger. Nope, wrong one. It's scaling this too much. So what I'm going to do is select all of that, Control invert, hide it. Now I'm going to select everything here. Get rid of the O, scale by Y. Okay, looking better. And I think I'm going to do that. I said it jokingly, but I think I'm going to do that. Tab in everything, select everything, make my cursor in the center, Shift duplicate, Control M, in the X, then W, flip the normals because it doesn't do that automatically. Okay. Now, it should somewhat resemble this. And I'm not making my, I'm not using my brain to mirror it. Let me see, where was I? I had to take a break, but I'm back. And where was I? Yes, the smoothness. So I've already mirrored it, and I can already see there's a couple of things that I need to do just to make it look more like that. Very, very obvious little things there. And if I were to go into the edge mode and select wrong way, there, that much right there, I think. Maybe that one too. Control Z. There, that one too. Let me hit the period so that it centers around that. Take that, and I lost my axes, that's for sure. Snap U. Yeah, I lost them altogether. But I can always get something that's very similar to this axis as far as the face axis. That one's gone. Unless I continue on the other side. But Shift H Tab Control 0 and 5 back into the ortho. Where's the edge? That's the edge. Face, then make my axis, and then delete the face. So now, take that one and call it left. Break tube. So that's, I know that one. So back into that one, I have my left break tube axis. I'll figure out what to do with the face axes over here. I'll figure it out. Okay, so grab that one, move them over. Slightly, Control Z. Hit the O. Now I gotta make sure that it looks like this, somewhat like that, so it's a lot thinner. Like that. Oh, I already undid it, but that's okay because I can eyeball it. I'm talking about doing these as well. Control Z, How did he get that? Okay, those are the two. And just ever so slightly move it over. Okay, so that's looking more like that, with a little fat part for the pin here. This needs to be a lot more, pronounced. So that's what I lost, right? So I'm going to tab in here. I'm going to go back to my face O2 axis. I'm going to choose a face, duplicate it, right? Scale it. Let me go off the center without the proportional lighting. Scale it big, and then scale ZZ0. Okay. 7. Grab it over here, and then Control M in the X. Okay, so that should be my axis, similar to that one. So I'll go, that'll be the face O3. Okay. So I'm either working with face O3 or the right brake, or the left brake tube. Let me go to that one and rename it right. Left brake tube. I suppose the axis is extra, right? I don't need that. Boom. Left brake tube and the O3. Control save. So, how to get a nicer, sharper edge there? What occurs to me real quickly is to just grab them and move them. Grab in the Shift XX. What happened? Grab Shift XX. I think I hit Shift ZZ instead. And then just grab it and put it over here. Let me see how it looks in the unsubdivided view. Not very good. So I'm going to take these two vertices and grab Shift XX and then just start moving them over as well. I'm going to take these. Well, no, not really, because I need the fat part there, which is going to be this one right here. I might need another loop somewhere in here, but I am going to take these up to here and go GG and just move them over. Now I'll take these all the way to here and grab Shift XX and move that over. That should be creating the fat part there for the pin. Ooh, okay, no, that's fine. And then I'm going to take these faces, inset them, and shove them into the cavity of this thing here to where it won't render, or, it doesn't have to be perfect, but enough to where you can't see. A little bit more. There's a bit of a fat part here as well. So I'm going to grab these, grab Shift XX, a little bit more. Okay. Control save. Starting to look somewhat like it. Yeah, it just needs to be thinner here. So A, C, grab that. That one too. Z, so I can see. And then grab Shift XX. Okay, looking better. Now the rest is up to this guy. Z. I did grab Shift XX. Okay, now that's not very good because it's not apparent here that it has anything like that happening. Control 0. Let me see how the geometry looks here. All right. Here's what I need. What I really need is, I'm just going to put a loop and then work with it and do some vertex wrangling. Okay, with that loop there, I already got confused. I want to make the same kind of condition that's over here, going that way. The only problem is that I don't have a bevel here, and I don't want a bevel because I want it nice and round. So that's what that is. So this is like a bevel, but it's on the fat part. So now I just got to clean this up so it looks like this. And what's the best way to clean that up? So that it looks like this is to join, let's say, all of these, Alt-M, at last. Likewise with these, Alt-M at last. Okay, so that, it's preserving the quad geometry, but it's not, yeah, I can see it looks ugly here. So let me hope. It's always good to hope. Grab, GG. Move them over just slightly a little bit. Should happen the same here. I'm going to grab these and then go GG as well. And go Control 3. Okay. The problem now is that I need a hole. I can't make a hole here. Can I put a loop? I could put another loop here. If I put a loop here, it's going to ruin that circle there. Loop. Let me see how it looks. Not so much. I can always grab these and move them over where I need to. Okay. So I'm going to do that. And then take that one, move it out further. And that gives me the nice, round, smooth shape that it has. Eyeballing it, everything. That's always okay. So now it's looking more like it. Coming to that point there where the cable's going to come out. Proportionally, I'm looking at just proportions. Proportionally between here and here is too much on my side, on mine. I'm getting very close, I think. Very, very close. But I'm not going to go all the way. I could work for hours, and I'm seeing them already at an hour and 10. So it still needs a cable. It still needs to be mirrored. It already has materials. That's good because I had materials already done. But still. Okay. closest path. Okay. Since the pin here goes in here, and that's what I was talking about earlier, may need to... No, that's fine. No, I do. Control R. Right there. That kind of exaggerates that, but I think it works. It works to the advantage. Oh, I was going to inset them and I don't want to just yet. The hole itself would be right here. So I would grab that, grab, over. Take that and grab, back. I cannot really appreciate how much of a bend there is coming down here. But wait, there's something I can do. I can go to my reference image here. And there's not a whole lot right there. So how can I fix that? If I take the vertices and then I can basically just move them just by the looks. But I'm going to take these vertices and then scale these in that XX, scale XX. What happened? Control Z. Scale XX. And there. Scale XX. It was unnecessary to rotate them so far over when I first started. That's okay. Now I'm going to take only the two. And I'm going to smooth the top of that. Scale XX. Okay. Same with these. A little bit more. Now, if I go to my reference image, because it's coming down, there's a bolt over here. Forgot all about that, huh? Okay. Not gonna do it. I'm going to pretend that the pin that goes through here is what holds it together. I went too much, I think. Scale. Just make it look smooth enough. I'm separating these so that the bevel doesn't show too much. Scale XX. Okay. Control save, tab, Shift Z, just to see how it looks. Shift Alt 2. Okay, so this just needs to, now before I continue, I'm going to call that okay. It's too smooth here, not so much over here. I'm going to, no, I don't need, I'm going to leave that because I'm going to inset the faces from in here. So basically I have to take this and move it over a little bit more, and then I'll go from there for the handle. Okay. Control save. Again, Alt 1. That's where I'm working. Tab inside. Go to the faces. one by one, even though there's ingenious selection. Oh wait, I'm going to move this first. That one and that one. With the proportional editing on, grab it, make it bigger. No, don't want that. Okay, Control plus, Shift H. Okay. Now, just from my view, my perspective here, I'm going to put the cursor there. That cursor should be on the surface now, right? I'm going to hold D down and just draw that. That's what's going to get hidden right now when I hit the H. Okay. I hid those because I don't want to see them and I don't want the proportional editing to mess with them. And now, maybe a little bit more. Boom, right there. As I move it, boop, that much. That one actually needs to go further just to get the proportion going out this way. So, Alt H, Alt G, Alt H. I can always go D with the right button, mouse button, and erase that. Yeah, that's what's missing, is that this goes out further now. It's actually a lot less exaggerated here than what is shown here. So now I get to grab these and do the same operation. Now it's really exaggerated, right? I went too much. It's a little too much on the side. It does it like a little S. So I'm just going to bring that back without the proportional editing. And then just do it by the look. Okay, the hump here is kind of big. No, that's okay. And the curve going up here, it seems to work. Needs to be a little fatter going that way. So Control 0. I'm going to mirror what I see on this side, more or less. I'll grab Shift X. Seems to snap to something. I think it observed. No, it didn't. Control Z. Don't know why. Grab Shift XX. Maybe I hit 1X only. Okay. Control 3. Take that one and just go grab that way. See how that looks. In terms of the smoothness, Control 0. getting closer to having like a round opening here. The bevel here is kind of bugging me a little bit, and I'm just going to scale those in, eyeballing it. How much did I do? I did 0.8. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Shift R. Bring the table, Shift Z, bring back the table. Okay. I think, okay, there. It's closer to looking like this. Now I just gotta make it a little shorter that way, because only a person with a big, huge hand will be able to operate this brake. So Z, tab, face, Z. There. Now dragging it back along here with the proportional editing. Make it bigger. See what, I don't know what happened there. I didn't push anything. Will that work? Is that enough? Control Z. Control plus, no, not that one. Minus. Control invert. H. Select these again. Then with a proportional editing, bigger in a sense. Okay, now the brake is going to come and do this here. Lever, I mean. There's still too much of a sharp edge right here. Control 0. Again, I go Control open instead of 0. The sharp edge is due to these vertices here. I'm going to grab it on with the proportional editing off, grab it there and snap to that. And there. It seems to be different on top than on bottom. Control 3, that's because I lost points of symmetry all the way along this. Grab, Shift, XX. Grab, XX onto that one. Okay. I keep saying okay, but I'm not okay. I keep looking. It's just that I don't want to do this portion here without, because once I do this, I commit. So Control Save again. That's why I always do a duplicate and then move it to layer 0. So if I have to come back, okay, Alt H. So faces there and there. I'm going to inset a little bit. Control Z. Okay. Control 0 so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to inset them tiny bit. Well, maybe a little bit more. And then extrude them in. How far is too far? I'm gonna just take it to the limit. Get rid of the snapping. Before the daylight out here, I'm just taking it to the limit. That way, I'm not later on messing with them because they show too much or whatever. Okay. So there's that. Take that edge and Control B. Not working. Control B. Maybe I did Control Paste. Okay, so that's the housing for the lever. The brake lever that goes there, and then I need a hole in here. That one. How does this work? I think it was, is it Control Shift B, boom, there. Control 0, too big. So Control, comma, just a bit. Now extrude it in. Now take this one and then go Control P. Before they merge here, Control 3. And I'm going to call that good. For a hole, I mean. Z. I can just pull this one in further like that. Z. Tab. Shift Z. Yeah, that's fine. Shift Z. There. I'm imagining how it's going to reflect because I have the advantage of looking at this, and at least I'm second guessing the amount of bevel I put on here, how thick this is. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Man, I'm already an hour and a half. Probably more. My drink is already warm. Not warm, but... Okay, any creative ways of putting the lever? Let me see, creative ways of creating that lever. I think I have. It's not very creative. It's called vertex wrangling. I'm going to duplicate that one. Grab it over here. I'm going to extend it even. For the sake of being able to do this, I'm going to Control Link P separate. Tab. So using the grease pencil, I'm just going to not trace, but draw what needs to go there. That should be on the cursor, and I think that's fine, because now that I have that, I'm going to go back to the 7, the top view. The top view, okay. Control Control 0, not Control Open, Control 0. I don't have the snaps on, do I? Okay, I have the auto merge, but I don't have the snaps on. Boom. E. So there's that. Okay, so what I just did was select those two, and I'm using Control, and I'm just tapping. Beep, 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 beep. I'm not sure that's an add-on, but that's what I did. So I'm going to go to the edges, Control Z, and scale that so I can scale them. It's a little too big over here. I'll leave it like that. Control Z. That one didn't work. Or that didn't work. Do a tiny one. So I'm guessing as to how this is going to look. I can always go Control 3. And it's giving me more or less a curve of how it's going to look. Then my plan is to extrude it in this value here, but not before flattening it out in the axis that we're already working on. So there, like that. Control 0, not Control Open. Let's get the Z view going there. Yeah, why not? I'll bring this one all the way out here. These should be more over here because when they get subdivided, they might not fill in that gap. Okay. I need one right there. Just to bring it in like that. I don't have to, observe this in here. I'm just doing it for the sake of, pretending that if I do a pull apart, it'll come out and go in or whatever. But I don't need to observe anything in here. Matter of fact, I do need to observe wherever the pin is going to be, because if I do plan to rig it, I want to make sure I have a center. Okay. And the center is going to be roughly around here, so I'm going to make it even bigger. Okay. I'm wondering if I want to put a loop in here. One more loop. I'm going to put one because then I can always dissolve it if it gets in the way. It's actually Shift Snap U a little big. Hit the period there. A for deselecting everything. There. Then scale it. And then rotate it. deselect these, scale up a little bit. Scale up a little bit more. Control plus now. Okay, rotate it. Okay, so select everything. Scale XX 0. So now that puts them in that plane. There is a vertex right in here. And I'm going to choose that one. Tab, too much noise, so hide that one. Tab back in. Use that as the active vertex, and I'm going to choose that one right there. So grab XX with the snaps. There. I think I got it. Boom. Right there. So that centered it. Okay. Now, for grease pencil like this, sometimes I'll just... I wonder if I have other grease pencil stuff saved. I don't know. Sometimes I'll just go in and just delete the grease pencil altogether. There isn't anything saved. Oop. Instead of going and erasing. And Control Save. So I can extrude here or solidify. I'm going to solidify it the way I did initially off the center. Add a modifier. A solidifier modifier. I should have called it the solidifier modifier, because it just sounds cooler. So offset from the 0. Make it grow. To where it fills that in. Even though it gets the clip there, I'm going to put it a little bit farther out, like that. Where the corners are going in, because when I do this subdivision, it's going to... Matter of fact, I go Control 3. I can see it right now. Smooth. No. Control Z. That's the wrong smooth. I'm getting used to Blender 2.8. That is the wrong smooth. T. Here, no. Tools. Tab out. Smooth. There. So very clearly, I'm going to have to move some vertices so that it fills in all the way out here. Maybe smooth that out a little bit so it's not that sharp. But I think overall it looks just like that. It looks smooth enough. It looks a little fat here with the one view. I'm going to look at how it looks over here. So it's thin in the I guess in it would be our x axis. It's thin in that axis. That axis. Okay, period. Just to get back to what I'm doing. I can do that. All right. And I can do that and then put a pin on that. Yeah, that's fine. If there's a spring or something that I can see there, I'm going to ignore it. All right, enough looking around. Time to get busy doing stuff because it's taking forever. I'm going to choose the individual origins over here. I don't know what hotkey that is. Individual origins. And then scale them in. Shift XX. Control 0. I have to keep in mind what I'm doing here, because grab Shift XX, because with the subdivided view, right, I can't really appreciate certain things like what I'm doing right there. It ended up, oh, I should leave a green handle like that. Looks nice. Sticks too much. Grab. There. Control 0. There, like that. Control 3 so I can see it again. So if I had to guess, it's thin here, but it gets thicker in the x-axis, or thin, like I just observed, but I think it's about time to apply the modifier, the solidify. Well, no, not yet. I just moved out. I just forgot completely. What a Control Z, 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 Z. There, last one. That I wasn't working off of the x-axis. So grab Shift XX. I'm talking about the transform orientation. Control Z, like there. Grab Shift XX. It's a little bit too much to be doing that all the time, but I just want to observe that. I moved him off of that very slightly, imperceptible even, but I will know. Control save. Actually, this is getting long. It's 1:44. I still have a way to go, so I'm going to stop the video, or pause rather, but just to save everything I got. Control save. So it's all good. I just went through and saved the video. Rather, the audio is the one that's a concern for me. I'm using Audacity 2.3, I think it is, the latest one I just downloaded a little while ago. So the other one, the older version, doesn't work, but this one anymore, because I, for whatever reason, I just installed this one over the other one or something. But yeah, this one I haven't taken out. I have not recorded it that far out in terms of time. And I'm trying to remember where I was. I'm gonna make these fatter, but I need to apply the modifier, I think, for this now. Yeah, because if I move them up and down, I wonder if I already moved them. No, I didn't. Anyway, so I was saying. I don't know how long the program will go before it just takes a dive. And the screen and everything, I've gone up to 2 hours and, close to 3, I think, in the recording process. Of course, everything always has its limits. So, apply modifier cannot be applied. Actually, I'm going to duplicate this one and move it to 0, just in case. Take that one, apply a modifier. So now I have these loops. Go back to the edge. So there, and there. Okay, good. I always forget to turn the keys back on. In this case, I just paused this. I didn't turn off Blender. Well, I checked the audio on the other one, on the other recording. Scale, XX. I need to do the individual. That's fine. Scale. I still have it individual centers. Scale, XX. Make it kind of fat. There. Get rid of that one. Scale, XX. And make even. Fatter there. In that direction. So, in the reference photo, here it can be seen that it does get pretty wide between these points. Get rid of that one. Scale XX. There. Probably this one, scale XX. Bring it back down. I think that's about it. If I looked at, should I leave them green? It stands out with the bike. There's a little wavy part. Do I want to do the wavy part? Let me see. The wavy part could be too hard. Not really. So really, to get the wavy part, I'll have to take that one, scale XX. Take this one, scale, and go back. Okay. So in the materials, I'm gonna go and make it the black paint. Assign. It's got all the other materials. I'm not even gonna worry about taking them out because I'm going to join it back into the object again. And when I do, it's going to assume all those materials again. Okay, Alt H, just to see how things are looking. Now, do you need to be a person with a huge hand to grab that? I don't think so. I think it looks normal. Now, in terms of a hand, I'm just thinking a hand that has to grab, you know. There's the fingers, right? And then you got your thumb. As if I knew how to draw. It'll reach. It'll reach. Okay. N. Grease pencil. Get rid of that. It's still a little too bulky right here. From that, and then this one, it doesn't even reach all the way out here. Seems to have more of an angle coming down this way. So that makes sense because you need room, so it doesn't look as thin. It looks more bulky. So probably scaling it back into a location, probably to where that cursor is, and then rotating it back out this way. Wrong one. Tab in there. I am putting my cursor just arbitrarily right there. The face, Control plus, all the way here, I think. And then rotate XX. Sorry, I have to hit the period. So rotate XX. So it comes out like that. Now scale Shift XX. So it doesn't stick too much. Control minus rotate XX. A little bit more. Control plus rotate XX. So now it's opening up more. Control minus rotate XX. Now it looks like you need a huge hand to get there. That's what I didn't want to, is have to get back into that pivot point, find a pivot point here, and then start scaling it down that way. At this point in time, there's a lot of things to choose. And I'm going to have to. So, using that same, and choose that face, shift snap U to get, I'm using that face, using that same transform coordinate. Well, actually, this one I can do it with the object mode. I'm going to do it with the object mode. And then scale, it's locked. That's okay, I can unlock it real quick. So scale, shift. So with the period selected, scale, shift. Do I have there's, because of a parent. It's a parent, there's a parent. Something is happening. It is working off of the center. I don't see my cursor. Yeah, I think at this point is that I can get into trouble because its center is all the way over there, because that's the center of the bike. And it does have, well, that's a parent right there. And object wise, I think it's just scaling it from that center. So I need to basically put the center over here. I would have to think about it as to why it's doing that. So I'll just do it in the edit mode for now, rather than think about it or contemplate about it, because it's going to get later even in the video. Shift snap U. Okay, now tab into that one, select everything. Scale, shift, XX. Okay, again, scale, shift, XX. F6, just to get that. This F6 is, by the way, also the same as what's down here. So I can do T as well, 0.85. So I'm going to go around 0.8. And now I'm going to choose these. Go Control plus plus plus. Oh, what's going on? Hit the wrong button. Yeah, I think those are what I want. A couple more faces in there, I think. Then scale, Shift XX, just bring it down to where it wants to cover that. Control Z, I went too much. Scale, Shift XX, there. Now it looks like a hand can reach. Maybe. It has the curves a little bit. It's not as big. The grip, proportionally the grip and T. The grip from here to here is a lot less than from here to here. So there's that to consider. So I'm going to go back and push some more then. Tab this one. Control plus. Scale Shift XX. Just a tiny bit. I'm going to lose some of these. Z to the vertex, A, C, circle select. Oh, no. A, circle select that, grab Shift XX. So losing just a tiny bit. A, C, grab Shift XX. Z, Control 3. Okay. It's even got the little shape there. The little extra shape. Okay, Shift Z. Close enough, I think. If I were to take these, make them equal size. I like to do this just for the sake of getting proportions down. And just see how they look compared one to the other in terms of size, and say, well, I got kind of close. The reference, it's way too thick here than it is there. Way too thick around the clamp. It needs the pin, so let's just get to it, because I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I think I'm very close to conveying the idea of a brake lever, brake and a brake lever. A lot different this one from this one where I started, right? Okay, Alt 1, back to this. So I'm going to use that face there to put in the pin. Okay, there. I'm going to do it in the object mode. Shift add a cylinder. Do I want to do that? No. No, I don't. For a reason. I'm gonna have to. That's fine. I'll do it. I'll just do it. I'm eyeballing everything anyway. Shift add a cylinder. Mesh. Cylinder. It's huge. Tab into that. Control Z. No. Shift add a cylinder again. I don't want it to be 32. I'll go back down to 8. And then I'm in the edit mode somehow I'm in the edit mode of an object that I deleted, I think. Oh yeah, I deleted the cylinder. Hopefully I don't have a floating object there that has nothing. Where would be the center? Let's see. There. If there was a center left over, it would be there. So no. Control Z. Shift snap. Cursor to select it again. So I'm there. It's not going to be perfect. Not even close, actually. It's a little close, but not right, not quite. That cylinder is, you know, it's perfectly vertical. But I needed to be somehow shifted on this axis a little bit. So I'm going to continue scaling until I have the size of the pin that I want. I think maybe a little more. I'm going to take that edge and that edge and control bevel it. Now control 3 on that. Hit that and that. And then make it smooth. Okay, I think that's it. Now, I can do all sorts of other things just to make sure that it's aligned to that. But I'm really just going to line up the two lines, the edges for that cylinder, as close as I can get it, and then rotate it until it seems to follow that axis right there. That was more or less from that side. Now from this side. Close enough. Right there. First side. There it is. It's not big enough. But now here I'll need another face. That one. I'll make a face. Transform orientation. Select everything. Scale in the ZZ. Go back to the control comma. Scale ZZ. So there, the pin sticks out. I'm going to say about right there. that fourth face orientation is based on the cylinder, so it means nothing to the rest of the object. Okay, now that face there, I'm going to inset it a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And then extrude it. But I'm going to grab that one. Going back to the where is it? Back to the third transform orientation. Grab it in the XX all the way down. Not all the way, but enough. Okay. The vertices. Well, I was going to choose them all and try to get them to be on the circle, which I can do that, but I already extruded. So let me Control Z, even the extrusion. So really the end setting, Control Z, even that. So inset. So if I go Shift Alt S, it's gonna take it. Ooh, let me see. No, it didn't, but I can do this all the way. So I should have put them inscribed in a circle. It's a square. Not necessarily a square, but it's a rectangle inscribed in a circle. So there's still room to make this work. There is, I believe, the loop tools, edge tools. No, I think it's in this one. Circle. Boop. I believe it would have made it into an actual circle. Or actual equidistant. Control 0. Which would have been, which is a square. It looks like a square. That would be equidistant around the circle. Rotate. Okay. Now extrude it. Grab it in the XX. Down. I know it's difficult to see in all the mesh things here, but we can hide other stuff. So there. Now we're around that. Now we can see more clearly. Okay, Control 3. Closer to the circle. And now I just gotta scale it in. Control comma, and then scale it in. 7. Okay, some more. Okay. Now tab, grab this one. And then in the X, grab. So grab Shift XX. Kind of like to give the impression that there's some contour around it. So it's not perfect, but there's a pin that goes through there. And on the lower side, needs to have the same thing. Except that this is what I'm going to do to get creative with it, I suppose. I don't want to do all that. The pins goes through there. I don't want to do all that. From the bottom, it needs to be bolted down onto that, right? So I'm going to take that one, right? And I'm going to switch back to the face one. 4. Grab the face. Grab ZZ. Down here. Oh, I forgot the bevel. Control Z. Control plus. There. And then cut a loop there. Down here somewhere. And then control bevel it a little bit. Okay. Now there. There. Since I have a render there that doesn't see all the way over here, so I'm going to go to the edges. Come on, edge, Control B, slightly. So now from the bottom, it looks like it's some sort of bolt. Control plus. I'm going to shove it in there. So where it touches here, it's going to clip with this down here, but I think it might not be that noticeable in a render because of shadows and stuff like that. It looks bulky, but at least to hide the fact that it's a lazy modeling. Because what I should do is do the same kind of thing here, over here, and all that stuff. Obviously, there's got to be a way that this actually connects, but I think it conveys the idea that this is a brake assembly. Control plus. I'm not going to make it that thick. Make it even more subtle. There. Okay. Well, that's good. Control save. Shift Z so I can get out of that. And that one needs a material. Well, first I'll just join it. I'll take that one first, then this one, and control join. Now tabbing in here. A to deselect everything, L to link that one. And then here, got different types of metals. I'm not even sure what metal is which. I will go with that one then. Assign. Which is very close to the handlebar. It must be the handlebar then. Control save. Okay. Not really, it's not the handlebar. So it needs a different one. Steel rods. Okay, there you go. I used to assign. Still not as shiny. This photo looks a little shinier. Let's try that one. The bulb. Shiny metal. Assign. a shiny black metal or what? It looks better than the black paint. No, it's shiny metal and it's shining. It is a shiny metal, but it's reflecting the blackness of the world and the blackness of this, so it's useless. There's another material here. Don't even know what that might be for the lamp that I was messing with. So I'll go bare metal and assign it. Yeah, if it doesn't look that bright, it's because the world is black in this scenario. Okay, so to make it even more than 2 hours longer, Control save. No, I did Control Z. What did I do? Trying to redo everything. Still the shiny metal, so I undid something. So take that one, make it bare metal. Assign. I hope the noises from the dog don't come across. The dog's in here hanging out as well as I'm working. But he makes funny noises. Oh, look, there's those reflectors. That'd be an awesome challenge to make a reflector render like a reflector. I don't know how to do that. Okay. There's that. For that. To deselect everything, link that one, X, V. Shift 1. I need that because I need to put the cables that go in. So I'm going to make a cable, and this is going to be a simple cable, I think. It's just that it's going to be a lot of going back and forth. So I'm going to start like this. I'm going to say that this is, from this picture, it looks like it's one of the brakes. Who cares? Front and back. Is there a convention to putting brakes front and back? Let's say this is the front brake, and that's the rear brake. Okay. I'm going to shift add a curve. Shift one of those curves. XV. So with the shift down, I'm just drawing that. That's obviously in this view right here. So I'm going to grab that with the proportional editing on. I think it's the Alt O, right? The connected one. I'm going to grab that, bring it down. And so this is going to be, just in all the 3D views, just trying to see which is the best way to get this to work. So it's got to come to some point here for the front brake. This has got to go to some point over here. Okay, rotating that one. So back to these. Rotating, get rid of the proportional editing. Rotating that. Get rid of the proportional editing. there. Go to 1, rotate. What layer am I in? I wonder. I'm gonna make sure that that is 1. So that's my layer right there. And so I just want shift 1. So I want my alt 1 and my, which is the 11th layer and the first layer on. So in the 3, rotate that. It's got to go through there. There's a hole there for the for these to go through. So this is a little long. That's fine. I'm gonna leave it long. The more axes and more I guess with normals that are between here, the more that it's gonna be divided like that. I'm talking about, I'm gonna turn this into a mesh. So if I put it like this and it's really dense between here and the handles, well, that's an indication that it's going to be a lot of vertices in between there and not so much over here. Obviously, the more I scale up and so on, it's going to affect that. So I'm just trying to distribute these a little bit. Because I'm thinking I don't want that many anyways. It's kind of hard to see now. But this one's going to come at some point over here. It is going through the center already, it looks like, but I'm going to make sure first. Right around there. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. I may need to put some more. The more points I put in between, the more subdivisions are going to be in between these. And then the more geometry, the more difficult it's going to be in the render and all that. Scale. Grab that one to where it looks like it's a natural curve between 7. Rotate that a little bit between this point and that point. Okay. Grab Z. And I'm just going to tuck it right into that cavity right there. 7, grab, shove it in there. Okay, now that I have that, I can go to the curve, make it a 3D full. Let me save first. Resolution there, so I think I wanted a 2 and then making it thick. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I missed from 2.8. I haven't worked with it. I plan to make some other model, something else, the similar way in 2.8. But the last time I worked with the curves, I didn't have the ability to see the wireframe like I'm seeing right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is probably more than I need. I learned the hard way that to stick with 8, anything divisible by 4. But I could do 6, I think, for the sake of just, simplicity in terms of the program. I gotta make sure it goes in through there, tucks in through there, because once I could always save it to the 10th layer as well. This rotate. I could always save this curve to the 10th layer and then turn it into a mesh, because I don't want to be messing with the mesh. So 1. I've got the door open and it's already like it's 11 o'clock right now, and the door open and it smells like barbecue outside. Like I think it's somebody's fireplace. Be weird if somebody's barbecuing right now. 11 at night on Friday. That's okay because I have a drink. I'm just gonna go to sleep that much faster as soon as I finish this. I'm trying to imagine how this ends, and I'm just going by the reference. By memory of the reference, rather. Like that one. It actually ends up on the outside. It ends up out here somewhere. It ends up out here. Still clipping. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take these two and subdivide them. Just so that it looks like it's going along the tube of the fork. Like that. This still doesn't look very natural here, or very convincing physical feature. There, that's more like it. Okay, so that's the control save. That's the cable. I have no idea how it, how to make it visually connect here. I didn't think that far. 3. I'm going to extend another one. 3. I'm not going to use it all. I'm going to extend it all the way out to here. It's just I want more subdivisions in here. And I don't want to have to be dealing with putting another, figure out what the axis is and all that. Okay, control save. Tab, Shift, duplicate it, move it to the 10th layer. Now take that one again. There's a little bit of metal right there, which means I'm going to have to take some of this and scale it up a little bit. Tuck it in there. It's still a little high. Grab Z. Well, let me try it. Let me just try it by Alt-C. It's a mesh from Curve. And then take that one and go Control-3. There, that works. That works all the way down. Let me see, does it work through the hole? Yes, it does. If I take the bike, and the bike, not the rig, the bike, Control-3. Oh no, don't crash. Control-Save. It looks thick. The cable looks kind of thick. I have to fit another cable through there, so it's going to get more. So right now, I'm going to do this for the sake of the completion, but because I'm not going to show the mirroring and all that of this in the connection, but okay, take that one to the brake assembly. I wonder if my computer's going crazy now. It's a little slow, it's what it is, because I have everything open. So Control Join. I just put them to the brake assembly so I can use the material in here that I want to, so I can get to the point where I'm satisfied as it being done. I'm going to go back to the Alt-1 so it's not taxing on my computer. Well, take that bike, go Control-0, come on, Tab, Control-1. Now these are joined. Okay. And the material, I have to go over this too. In other words, I have to assign the bone that's going to turn them and make sure that and then use some sort of weight painting right at the center. Or not really, I think it should turn with the handlebar, except for at the fork. So that's a whole other thing. I just noticed by looking at that. As soon as I start turning the bicycle handlebars, it won't take anything unless I assign the weights. That's for another video. Let me see. Material-wise, it's black, but it's not shiny. Let me see if I can assign that one. Well, I need the one for the seat is what I need. Tab out. Go Alt-1. Now go 1. I don't think I called it a seat. I think it might have been the rubber. No, that doesn't work. Or maybe I just got lazy and I called it black matte paint. Maybe the black plastic. Select. Nope. A. Select. A. No. So the seat is rubber. Okay, so it's not going to work with that. Tab out. Alt 1. Tab in. Link. What did I push? Link. There. So taking that one, I'm going to give it that paint, assign. Okay, that works. I did a Shift X, whatever that does. Shift Z. Okay. Alt Home, just so I can go around here. This view here, and I just hit the other stuff. A to deselect, C to find and get these, and I extruded them and then scale. See how that looks. Okay, Alt H. That's the piece of metal there that's holding it all together. And I'm just going to eyeball this one, grab it and tuck it in underneath. No, maybe I should bevel it a little bit. There. Okay, so that's going to get assigned a shiny metal. Assign. Not so much the shiny metal. The same material as that one. Okay, so that's done. Now down here, Down here I have to make it up. Up to here somewhere. Control plus XV. Okay, Control plus. No, just these. I'm going to delete these and take these. Now Control Z. Control Z that. Scale it. Close that in. Like that. Okay. Hey, what material is that? Okay. Control save that. Okay. There's not. I really should just. I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna do this, but here because it's already way late. It's going to be 2 hours and change for the video. But here what I'm going to do is for completing this, what I'm going to do is model something that's the same as this housing and basically just create an enclosure that this comes into. But I'm not going to do it here. Okay? The video is already long enough. I'm going to end it with this model of this right here. Just to look at this handlebar right here. Let me see. Before my computer crashes because it's super dense. No, well. 1. Control 3. There. And bring that one back. I think that was already subdivided. And now I'm just going to end it by closing this one off as much as I can and making them look like they're comparable. And I'll let YouTube decide. Oh no! Crash, crash, crash. So I hope this is good enough as a completion for this bicycle. This is the last video I plan to post for this bicycle because every single part of it has already been shown, the exception of the materials, but that's just Alt Home, so I can rotate it around that. That takes a long time for me. The materials does. And I don't know, I see some videos they must have very fast computers. But some videos are very, very good. At this kind of stuff, it goes really, really fast. Okay, right there. I just want them to look somewhat like I tried. Wanted to look like I tried to actually get this. The grip is just not that big. Obviously, in proportions, there's certain things that are not the same. But so that's my attempt at brake assembly, the brake levers there, and obviously mine is a lot bigger than this one. That's why proportionally it just doesn't look right. The grip looks way bigger and this looks a lot slimmer. But that's it for the modeling of this bicycle. And in the last video I plan to post for the bicycle. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.